Students, welcome back to the video tutorial of business research method. In our last class, we discussed the first method of data collection, that is survey method. I already told you that a survey is used to know or get the opinion of a large group of people about a particular topic or issue. Then we discussed the two important types of surveys, that is cross-sectional surveys and longitudinal survey. And we also discussed the methods of surveys, that is census method and sample method. Today we can discuss the second method, that is experimental method. Experimental method is a scientifically proved method for the data collection in research. Simply we can say that experimental method is the observation under controlled condition. Experimental method is used for conducting experiment which is done under a controlled condition. Now, in other words, it is a process of manipulating one or more independent variable and measuring their effect on one or more dependent variable. That means the researcher is changing one or two independent variable and finding out whether there is an effect of that change in dependent variable. Here manipulation means making changes. So in experiment we take two groups for making experiment, that is control group and experimentation group. The group which is manipulated or which is receiving the treatment is called experimental group, and the group which is remain unchanged is called control group. We can explain it with an example. Suppose if a researcher wants to know the effectiveness of a training, he takes 30 employees from a particular organization and divide these employees into two groups. He gives proper training to one group and the other group does not give training. Here trained group is called experimental group and untrained group is called control group. Once again, trained group is known as experimental group and untrained group is called control group. So once again, in an experiment we divide the total variable into two groups, that is control group and experimental group. Now we can discuss the important variables which are used in an experiment. All experiment involve three types of variable. They are independent variable, dependent variable and extraneous variable. We discussed all these three variables in our previous video. Did you remember that? No problem. Once again we can discuss what is these three variables. If one variable depends upon another variable, it is called dependent variable. The variable that is predecessor to the dependent variable is called independent variable. Then extraneous variable are the independent variable which are not directly related for the study, but at the same time it affects the dependent variable. Or we can say that extraneous variables are undesirable variable which causes error to an experiment. In an experiment, we try to remove or manage the effects of extraneous variable. Removing the effect of extraneous variable is called controlling, and the steps that a researcher used to remove extraneous variable is called control. Now we can discuss the types of extraneous variable. There are mainly 6 types of extraneous variable. So we can discuss each one in detail. First type is history. These are the specific events occurring during the course of the experiment. These variable may affect the result of the dependent variable. In other words, history refers to events other than the treatment that occurred during the course of the experiment, which may influence post-treatment measures of the treatment effect. Now next is testing. This variable occurs in an experiment when the tests are repeated. Usually these are the effects on the experiment of taking a measure on the dependent variable before and after the presentation of the treatment. This variable is a threat to internal validity of the researcher. In other words, the researcher designed the research in such a way that the group get first a pre-test and then a treatment and then a post-test. If the same test is used both time, that is pre-test and post-test, The group may show an improvement simply because of their experience with the test, because 2 times same test is conducted. This is especially true when the treatment period is short and the tests are given within a short time. So these are all about testing. Now next variable is instrumentation. This is also a threat to validity due to some bad behavior on the part of the experimenter or checker. In this, the researcher uses different tests for pre and post measurement. So when the researcher uses different pre and post measure, there will be a chance for varying in the result. So these are all about instrumentation. Now the next variable is selection bias. It means the improper assignment of test unit to treatment condition. This problem can be solved by random assignment of test unit to treatment condition. In other words, the researcher selected the unit which is not adequate for the study. This is known as selection bias. So the researcher must use a random method for selection. And while using randomization method, there is no chance for coming bias. Now the next extraneous variable is statistical regression. Statistical regression means the tendency of extreme score, whether low or high, to move towards the average on a second testing. Subject who score very high or very low on one test will probably score less high or low when they take the test again. That means when the researcher repeated the same test, the result is different. This is the problem of statistical regression. In other words, the effect of this variable occur when test unit results move closer to the average score during the course of experiment. So, do not study groups formed from extreme score. Study the full range of score. Now, next is attribution or experimental morality. Experimental morality is also known as attribution. It means the loss of subjects from the experiment, or in other words, it is the loss of the last unit while the experiment is in progress. So we can say that if there is a systematic bias in the subject who drop out, then post-test score will be biased. Now we can discuss the next area, that is how to control extraneous variable. There are mainly 5 methods which is used for controlling extraneous variable. They are randomization, matching, statistical control, design control and holding variables constant. So first one is randomization. Here randomization refers to random assignment of test unit to experimental group by using random numbers. Next we use matching principle to control extraneous variable, which involves comparing test unit on a set of key background variable before assigning them to the treatment condition. Now next is statistical control. Here researcher use statistical control for minimizing the effect of extraneous variable. Now next we use design control. It means use of experiments which is specially designed to control specific extraneous variable. Next and last way to control extraneous variable is simply hold the extraneous variable as constant, which means researchers should not change the variable when a research is conducted. If these variables do not vary over the period of experiment, they cannot cause uncontrolled variation in dependent variable. So, to control the effect of extraneous variable, the researcher tried to keep the extraneous variable constant. So, randomization, matching principle, statistical control, design control and holding variable constant are the 5 methods which are used for controlling the effect of extraneous variable. Now, we can discuss the goals for conducting experiment. The main goal for conducting experiment is internal validity and external validity. So, first internal validity. Internal validity means making valid conclusion about the effect of independent variable on dependent variable. In other words, internal validity means identifying whether the change of independent variable actually caused the observed effects on the dependent variable. And external validity means making generalization to a large population of interest. In other words, external validity refers to whether the cause and effect relationship found in the experiment can be generalized. In short, an experimental design should have both internal validity and external validity. So, I repeat, the main goal of conducting an experiment is first one, internal validity. Internal validity refers to the extent to which the result obtained in a research study are a function of the variable that were systematically manipulated, measured or observed in the study. Or internal validity means making valid conclusion about the effect of independent variable on dependent variable. And the next goal is external validity. External validity refers to the extent to which findings from a research study can be generalized to individuals, settings and conditions beyond the scope of the specific study. Or in other words, external validity means making generalization to a large population of interest. So, both internal validity and external validity must be needed for the smooth conducting of a research. So, this is the main goal for conducting experiment. Now, we can discuss the steps for conducting experiment. There are mainly 7 steps which are used for conducting an experiment. So, the first step is selecting the hypothesis, then determining dependent and independent variable, then operationalizing the variable, then selecting the type of experimentation plan, choosing the setting, selecting the suitable experimental conditions, select suitable methods for controlling extraneous variable. So, this step must be followed for conducting an experiment. Now, we can discuss the main advantages and disadvantages of an experiment. First, we can discuss the main advantages of conducting experiment. Experiment have the power to determine causal relationship between variable, which means while conducting an experiment, the researcher can clearly understand the cause and effect relationship between variable. Now, the next advantage is it also helps to determine the relative influence of variable. How one variable influence the other. It can be understood while conducting an experiment. Now, next advantage is it helps to demonstrate the influence of one variable on another. Then it has the ability to control over research condition. Now, we can discuss the main disadvantages. Artificiality of experiment is the main disadvantage which is faced by an experiment. Sometimes experiment become artificial. Now, the next disadvantage is lack of validity. Then next one is it may involve critical issues or it may face some critical issues. Then it may require a large number of people. Then the next disadvantage is maybe time consuming. Experiment may be time consuming. So, these are all about advantages and disadvantages. Now, we can discuss the important types of experiment. There are mainly 2 types of experiment. They are laboratory experiment and field experiment. So, what is laboratory experiment? A laboratory experiment is an investigation which is conducted in situation created specifically for that purpose. In other words, lab experiment are controlled experiment in an artificial environment. This means the researcher can control different variables. For conducting this experiment, researcher divide the total samples into 2 groups. They are control group and experimental group. For doing such type of experiment, the researcher can find out the cause and effect relationship between variable. So, these are all about lab experiment. Now, next type of experiment is field experiment. This is an experiment conducted in real life situation in which the experiment manipulate an independent variable in order to test a hypothesis. Field experiment is suitable for testing theory and building solution for particular social problem. So the main difference between field experiment and lab experiment are, field experiment is conducted in real life situation, but lab experiment is conducted based on artificial situation. So both are the important types of experiment. So these are all about experiment. Now we can discuss the questions which is related with this area, that is, what is an experiment, what are the variables in an experiment, what are the types of extraneous variables, explain how to control extraneous variable, briefly explain the goals of experiment, what are the steps for conducting experimentation, what are the advantages and disadvantages of experiment. So in this video we mainly focused on what is experiment and what are the variables in an experiment, how to control extraneous variable, what are the goals of conducting experiment, what are the steps for conducting experiment, and the main advantages and disadvantages of experiment. So the remaining portion in this area is types of experimental design, which will be discussed in our next class. So we can meet in our next class. Till then, goodbye.